Okay, video 3. Hopefully I can make it in this one. This is like a whole thing we would do for like a whole day in class, even longer sometimes if students had questions. So trying to get it to fit. Oh, I have like two of my faces. There we go. Okay. So this is where I left off talking about your SAT score and your work keys score. Basically, whoops, that's not what I want. You'll want to make sure that it gets sent to whatever trade school or college university that you're interested in. If you have any issues, talk to your counselor. Like that'd be kind of key thing. If you would like, you can retake it. So usually you want to have your score kind of figured out by the end of like December-ish. So colleges have a good idea of who you are before they make their decision on whether they admit you or not. I wonder though if that will change since we're not taking the SAT until the fall. I'm not sure kind of what their expectations will be there, but if you decide you want a higher score, so if you're a little bit low for a school or if there's certain scholarships you're trying to be eligible for, you could try to reschedule that pretty easily. You reschedule just by going on the College Board website. If you're interested in the ACT, here's like some information on where to register for the ACT. You'll end up registering to take the test at a nearby school, but it probably will not be ours. So you will be taking the SAT in the fall at our school. But then if you want to take it again, you might have to go to a different school, but not a huge deal. Just be sure that you have your ID with you so they know who you are. And figure out what scores your schools that you're interested in are looking for. That kind of helps when you're approaching a test to know what your goal is. And then the application. So in order to go to a school, so a trade school or a college, you need to complete an application. And the applications are very different. Depending on where you're going, there's going to be different information they are looking for. And to apply, you just go online. You can fill them out online. These take some time, they take some effort, so you probably won't finish it just in 20 minutes. It's going to take a little bit longer. It helps if you've got your documents ready to go, everything you need kind of gathered, and then you have like a good chunk of time you can work on it. So one of the things, so you'll already have your resume, hopefully, because you're already ready for that. And another thing that you'll want kind of before you try applying for a college is a college application essay. So that I'm going to talk a little more in depth about, but that's something that if you have already ready to go, you can edit a little bit and then you can send it with your application. You'll also want letters of recommendation, and I'll talk about those. Those are important to have. And then the counseling office will need to send your official transcript as well. So you'll just have to let them know which school they need to send it to. Most college applications do have application fees, so it does cost money to apply to college. Everything with college costs money. But if you and your family are worried about being able to pay for those fees, talk to the counseling office because you might be eligible to have that fee waived. So just talk to the counseling office. They can help you out there. Applications themselves open on October 1st. So that's the day that FAFSA opens, right? So October 1st, you need to like mark in your calendar. That's when applications open. That's when FAFSA can open too. So you can start all your applications then. The sooner you get them done, the better, because you don't want it just hanging over you. Like you don't want that to be your senior year, stressing about applying. Get that application done so then you can enjoy your senior year. So try to apply early, and then you, I think that they are due in January. But then you need to make your decision before May. For most colleges, GRCC and like trade schools, they do more of a rolling application. So like as you apply, they'll accept you. Like that's okay. Like they're not gonna kind of have a cutoff there. But most like 4-year universities, that's gonna have a deadline in May. So that'll be when your decision needs to be made of what school you're going to. So the common application, this is what your RLO 4 and 6 is going to be. So the common application is awesome, and it was created sometime when I was in high school. So I was using it pretty early on in its creation. But it used to be back in the day that if you wanted to apply to a college, you got their application, you filled it out, you mailed it in like in an envelope, and you like put it in the mailbox and you sent it off. And then you filled out pretty much the same information, folded it up, send it off to a different school. And you did that for every school you were applying for. Then the internet happened, which is awesome, and they created the Common Application. And what this is, it's an online application that can be submitted to more than 800 colleges. So you can do one application and send it to multiple places, which is awesome. Probably most of the colleges you're interested in will be on the Common Application, so definitely worth checking into. This is like the website. You can just complete the one application and send it off, which is so great. Some schools then, so when I did it, I had like, 4 schools I was sending it to. I had like Hillsdale, Harvard, Georgetown, or whatever. And once I completed the application, oh goodness, I'm gonna pause this. Sorry guys, got a phone call in the middle of that. So let's keep cruising. So the Common Application, one application sends to multiple colleges. It's a real time saver, which is awesome, which is great. So college application essays. So this is going to be RLO 4 and 6. So they're coming up here. This is just a narrative essay. So it's about you. So you can use the word I, me, my, go for it. And it's going to be something from your life. There's a bunch of different prompts you can choose from, but overall the essays have to be really short. So only 250 to 500 words. Can't be longer than that. Very short. What the essays are going to do for your application, they're going to show the college that you're applying to that you have writing skills. So it's going to show your organization, your grammar, your spelling, your editing skills, all of those things. And it shows them that you're ready to do well in whatever course you might take at their school. It also shows who you are. So most of them have most of the prompts are some sort of story you can tell about your childhood, your time in high school, your goals. And that shows who you are as a person and not just like a GPA or an SAT score. It's more of like who you are. So we are going to write 2 for the RLOs, so 4 and 6. And I've got outlines that you can follow, which will make it a little bit easier, hopefully. And you're going to do them on a Google document. The reason for that is then when you are applying next fall and you need an essay, you can go back into your Google Docs, you can find the essay, maybe edit it, look at the comments I might have given you, and then you can just send it in with your application. So you don't have to write it while you're trying to juggle everything that senior year will bring. So trying to make it a little easier for you. Other things that you will need for your application are letters of recommendation. So these show colleges even a little bit more about who you are. They get to know you better, and they can be written by a teacher, they can be written by your boss, probably not a parent, maybe a relative, a pastor would work, someone who's in charge of like volunteering or community organization you might be in, a coach would be great, some adult that has seen you kind of at your best. So hopefully kind of running through that list, there were a couple of people that came to mind that you can maybe ask for these. Probably would be a good idea to ask for these right at the beginning of the school year. And when you ask for the recommendation, make sure that you're giving them a lot of time to write it. So if you are trying to turn your application in October 15th, you're trying to send it in, don't wait until October 12th to ask for a letter of recommendation. Give the person who's writing it a couple weeks so they've got some time to write it. And it also is kind of helpful to give a resume to the person writing your recommendation. They might, especially so if I was writing you a letter of recommendation, I know what you do in English class. I've seen your work, I've seen your writing, I've seen you as a student, I've seen you maybe as a friend or a leader within class, but I have no idea about your basketball skills and how involved you've been in that and the fact that you've coached during the summer. So the letter of recommendation that I would write would be stronger if I knew all the other pieces about you, so the other things that you do. So really helpful to use that resume. Say, here you go. That gives the person writing it a little more information they can include. And so then once you've sent in your application, so October 1st, they've opened up, you begin working on them, you got your college essay, you got your resume, you got your letters of recommendation, you send it off, now you're kind of waiting to hear back. That's when you can start looking for scholarships. Every college has their own scholarships, so if you go to their financial aid page, you can see what specific scholarships they have. There's a lot of companies that have scholarships, so if you work for one, or if your parents work for one, there might be certain scholarships that come through. Lake Michigan Credit Union always offers a scholarship. They like open it sometime in the fall and then it's due in the spring. So a lot of different ones you can apply for. There are a lot of search engines for scholarship. FastWeb is one that I'm kind of familiar with. The only thing that I would recommend is to be very careful because you are going to get a lot of emails. So watch where it checks boxes and says, yes, send me this information. You might not want it to send you that information. It might be too much. And then as you're looking for different scholarships, keep in mind that you should never have to pay to apply for a scholarship. If you are paying to apply for a scholarship, it's probably a scam. So don't do it. I also think that you should avoid random drawings. So there's a bunch where, especially on like FastWeb, it'll be like $1,000, no essay required. Just submit your name and we'll draw somebody. I say avoid those. Like those seem kind of sketchy and not legit. So every scholarship's going to have a different application process. Some are longer than others. Some just want your grades. Some ask you to write an essay. So put in some work because, again, scholarships are free money. You don't have to pay those back. I ended up at Hillsdale, I ended up having like 3/4 of my tuition covered by an academic scholarship and then like a volunteering scholarship. So there are a lot of different options out there. Definitely do some research. The more prepared you are now, so if you're already planning, you've got a couple ideas of places you might want to go, programs you're interested in, you get your college essay application ready to go, you've got your resume. When you get to the fall, you can spend more time scholarship searching and less time working on applications because you're already prepared for it. So that's kind of my goal, helping you prepare this. Decision time. So when you apply to colleges, you will eventually hear back, probably sometime in the spring. You will hear, yes, you're accepted, congratulations, or no, I'm sorry to inform you that we are not accepting you at this time. Or you might get waitlisted right here. This means you didn't get in, but you didn't not get in. So if a college can, so say they can have a freshman class of 1,000 students, and they have 2,000 applicants, they're gonna accept 1,000, and then maybe they're gonna keep like 500 on waitlist. These numbers are all made up, right? Because the person in their 1,000 that what they accepted may have also gotten accepted at other schools. And as it gets closer to May, that student might actually contact and say, you know what, I can't go to your college, I'm gonna go to this other college instead. Now all of a sudden a spot's opened up. So that's when the college would then let someone who's been waitlisted know, hey, we have room, come on, we're excited to have you here, congratulations, you've been accepted. So if you're waitlisted, you're just kind of like put on hold, we'll get to you in a minute, maybe you will still be accepted. So those are the 3 options that can happen when you apply to a college. You'll need to select a college by May 1st. Again, unless it's a school like GRCC that does the rolling application. If you get really torn about your college decision and you need more time, you can contact the admissions office and ask for an extension. I had a cousin who did that. It was like the middle of the May before he decided. So if you're really torn, you need more time, just connect with the colleges, talk to their admissions office. They can help you out there. And try not to be too stressed out about it. This is a big decision when it comes down to it. But if you decide to go to a school, like say you went to Grand Valley, and after a year or after a semester even, you're just like, I don't fit in. This isn't the school I want to be at. This isn't the school that's going to have the right program for me. Maybe you change your mind on what major you want. You can transfer, especially early on. Every school you're going to be doing general education classes. You're going to be taking that English 101 class. Most of those classes will transfer to whatever other school you want to go to. So just because it's a big decision doesn't mean that you can't change your mind in the future. So prepare, make the best decision you can, but don't feel like this is final. Like there's always options. So that is all of the information in the PowerPoint. And we are going to start our college application essays soon. So again, start looking into this, start researching, and see what options are out there. You don't need to go to a 4-year university to get a bachelor's, but continuing education of some sort will really help you out. And then you can all be successful. All right, guys, I'm going to get cut off again. So here we go. Have a wonderful rest of your week.